Kawasaki Motorcycle Repairs. If you're looking for help fixing your Kawasaki motorcycle, look no further. Our comprehensive Kawasaki motorcycle repair guide will explain common issues, provide tips, and maybe show you how to repair your vehicle. Kawasaki manufactures motorcycles that owners have come to trust. Even a trustworthy motorcycle requires occasional maintenance or repair. However, if you're in need of Kawasaki motorcycle repair from experienced professionals, your local auto helper can help. Dead battery. This is the easiest problem to diagnose and is probably the most common reason why a motorcycle doesn't start. Depending on how low your battery is, if there is some voltage left, you may be able to turn the key as well as turn on your blinker. But turning it over is slow and sluggish. If your battery is completely dead, your motorcycle will not make any noise at all when you try to start it. Get a multimeter and turn it onto DC voltage and put it on the 20-volt setting of direct current. Now put the separate leads on the two battery posts if you're reading a negative number. That just means you need to switch the leads to the other battery post. Bad starter. This is only applicable if you have an electric starter. A bad starter can make several strange sounds. One noise would be a clicking sound. Another noise will make is a whirring sound, almost like a high-pitched unpleasant buzz where you can tell the gears aren't catching on anything. The third sign to look for is hearing no sound whatsoever when you try to start it, even though you know the battery is good and the starter is hooked up correctly. The most common cause for a starter to go bad is age. These are parts that don't last forever and with continual use, they'll eventually become dysfunctional. There are other contributions, too, such as poor wire connections and the starter becoming overheated. There is no way around it. You'll simply need to get a new starter. Dirty carburetor. There are ways to tell if a dirty or malfunctioning carburetor is your problem. If you have an electric starter, take your air intake off, push the starter, and squirt starter fluid straight into your carburetor. If it starts and revs up for a few seconds, then that means you have a dirty carburetor. Deposits and dirt can build up in your fuel system. As time passes, the build-up increases and will easily be able to block fuel passageways, especially the jets in the carburetor because they are so small. Not using a fuel filter will quickly cause a dirty carburetor. You'll need to thoroughly clean your carbs. To do this, you'll have to take off the air intake, then detach the carburetor from your motorcycle engine. Be sure to take pictures before you disassemble so you remember how to put it back together. Label parts using some tape if you need to. Blown fuses. The motorcycle will sound completely normal when you try to start it, but it will spin forever, yielding no results. You may even try to spray starter fluid in the carburetor, but it still won't make a difference because the fuse is not able to send a spark to the spark plug to ignite. A blown fuse generally means there is a bad grounding wire somewhere, especially if you have to keep replacing the same fuse. Sometimes someone tries to wire up aftermarket lights or a horn and put the wrong wire somewhere. There is only one fuse that can affect the starting of a motorcycle. Every motorcycle usually has a main fuse which is between 30 to 50 amps. Occasionally some bikes will have 20 amps. It is usually located off of the positive battery wire. Sometimes it's an inline fuse and other times it's a regular block fuse. Check the main fuse and see if it's blown. You can tell the fuse is blown by either black material found on the fuse or if the wires inside the fuse are disconnected. Replace the fuse if necessary. Any auto parts store will be able to identify the right fuse you need. Bad spark plugs. When a spark plug is about to give out, the motorcycle is running poorly, sounds louder than normal, and almost seems gutless. Eventually, when a spark plug has gone completely out, your motorcycle will attempt to turn over but simply won't fire up. Also, if you have no idea when they were changed last, that might be a good indication that they're spent. A spark plug can go bad in a few different ways. First, it's possible for the ceramic coating to get cracked. When a cracked spark plug is installed, the spark will find the least path of resistance through the crack and ground out to your engine block instead of going all the way down to the end of the spark plug and jumping across the gap like it's supposed to. Luckily, fixing a spark plug is easy. You simply need to buy new spark plugs. Spark plugs are usually only a few dollars each and can be found at any auto store. If you need to replace a spark plug, make sure you replace all the other ones as well, even if they don't need it. This will make your motorcycle run much more smoothly. Source: motorcyclehabit.com